Wow, I am super excited that you joined us today. I'm Scott Dewey, and I've been professionally training dogs for the past 25 years. This journey started out training and campaigning field trial retrievers, founding a nonprofit for service dogs, and now focuses on changing the lives of pet owners. Over this time, I have had the opportunity to use nearly every training tool available, from head halters and harnesses to prong and e-collars. I appreciate all these available tools and realize their selective purpose across the array of dog training worldwide. However, I began to see a major issue as I transitioned from training working dogs to helping pets and their families. You are probably in this same spot. The issue was not having a means to communicate with your dog, yet being opposed to certain training collars on the market. The harnesses and halters are not working, and your dog is walking you. And the prong, collar, and e-collar seem overwhelming. Using a lifetime of training experience, I began to design a middle ground training collar that is easy to use and offers a less aversive yet precise communication that dogs understand. I'm going to introduce you to two different dogs and their family members in this video. We will see these dogs on day one, see their leash and house behaviors, and begin their process of learning how to learn. It is important to realize that training is about communication, patience, and consistency, and time. The tools that we use are all part of this process, and every tool doesn't necessarily work for every dog or owner. We're going to start with learning sit by using a clicker as a marker signal and treats as a reward base. 2 weeks into the training, we will introduce you to the new training tool called the Kinder Collar and show you how to size it to your dog. The following 2 weeks of training will focus on the communication process to stop leash pulling. At the end, you will hear from the families and see the results of the process we're confident you'll be able to achieve with your family and dog. I hope you enjoy watching this as much as I did filming it. It never gets old watching these dogs transform into good members of society.
Come on in. Come on in.
Hi, Eric.
How we doing?
This must be Maisy. Whoa. This must be Jake.
Yes, this is Jake.
Okay. And you are?
I'm Brandon.
Brandon, nice to meet you. So tell me about Jake. He likes to pull on the leash, huh?
Yep. He's pretty wild around people.
Okay. He likes to jump on them.
Yep.
Hard to take for a walk.
He is hard to
Like wraps people up in a leash.
Yep.
I'll take that. Okay. All right, why don't you just try to walk him down the sidewalk for me once. Is your mom home?
She is home.
Okay.
Come on, Paul.
Okay, I think I've definitely seen enough as far as the pulling.
Oh yeah.
We need to fix that, huh? All right, so I think really what we need to talk about today is how we start shaping the behavior a little bit.
Yeah.
We have a lot of leash pulling.
Yeah.
We have a lot of jumping.
Yes.
We have a lot of energy.
Yes.
Okay, kids can't walk them.
No.
I mean,
I
for all
can barely
practical
walk him.
purposes,
Yeah.
right? So what we're gonna do today is we're just gonna start the initial stages of trying to start the sit behavior. Even if you guys have been saying sit,
Right.
what I'm gonna do is take him and just kind of see if I can get his attention with some treats
Jacob.
and see if I can get him to start focusing on me.
Okay.
And we're not gonna say sit. We're all just gonna try to get him to sit on his own, okay? And have you guys ever used the clicker?
No.
Okay. I'm just gonna walk him around a little bit, get this process started. You guys can just stay where you're at. There's gonna be no verbal commands.
Okay.
And then you watch me because you're gonna be kind of doing that this
Learning
week.
how to do
okay?
it. Yep.
So I'll take
He's very free.
This clicker is just marking the precise moment in time he does something good, which is sit, right?
Okay.
It's not telling him good job. It's just marking it so he can mentally remember, what did I just do when I heard that thing go off?
Right.
All this other stuff he's doing, he's trying to self-reward. He doesn't know how to get the right reaction out of people, right? It's like, if I run, if I pull, I can possibly get what I want. But what we got to start showing him is there's certain behaviors he can do that he doesn't have to act crazy to get this reward.
Right.
You guys should just do this 2, 3, 4 times a day,
Okay.
10, 15 times, or till your hand's out of treats.
Okay.
And everybody can do it. Just grab the clicker, grab some treats, and pretty soon he's gonna start following you around the house. He's like, hey, look at me, I'm sitting. Right? Then we click and we treat.
Okay.
I'm gonna start working on some clicking, some treating, and we're just gonna kind of see how she progresses with the sit behavior. So you can just kind of follow me around or watch from a distance, but I really just wanna get her attention.
Great.
Now, one thing you're gonna see in this process is you're gonna see them start offering like different behaviors. They might jump up, they might lay down. The only one we're clicking and treating for is the sit. So I'm not mad if you offer other behaviors, but I'm not gonna reward you for them. But the key to all this is being really nonverbal. I'm not talking to her. I may be encouraging a little bit, but there's no commands here. She's gotta figure out what she's got to do, what behavior she can offer to get the reward. And what you'll start seeing real quickly is this sit behavior being offered throughout the day. Like, hey, I'm sitting, look at me. Hey guys. So I see Jake still kind of pulling around, huh?
We need some training.
Yeah. Hi guys, come on in. Jake knows how to get a treat with putting his butt on the ground, right? So now we're gonna start using the word sit, okay? But there's only one way to do that. We can't just start saying sit and expect him to sit. So we're gonna start what I call associating the word sit. So as his butt's going down, before you click the clicker, I want you to say sit while he's doing it. And then click, and then I'll treat, okay?
Yep. Sit.
Perfect.
Sit.
Perfect. Turn back towards me.
Sit.
Now what this is doing is it's teaching him the word sit without making him sit. He's already doing it, right? So he can't get it wrong. And you guys have been doing the same thing, clicking, treating, and we're showing her that if she offers the sit behavior, there's a reward for it. And we're gonna start, just like we did with Jake, associating the sit command. And let's just do a little bit of session right now on that so that you guys, have that down.
Okay.
And we're saying sit when she's going to put her butt on the ground.
Okay.
We're just trying to not get it wrong. We've had the opportunity to click and treat for sit, and we started associating sit to the behavior today.
Yes.
And during the last 2 weeks, you've also been giving some treats when you're walking around at heel in the house. And all that's kind of been doing is giving her the placement of where to walk correctly.
Okay.
It doesn't do any good once we put the leash on her. I mean, she still wants to go this way and that way and every which direction. But what we're gonna start doing is reining that in a little bit. I got a new tool for you.
Okay.
It's called the Kinder collar. And we're gonna go ahead and size it for her, get it on, and then we're gonna teach how to use it. The easiest way to size these collars is if you can hold your harness and give me your leash, unhook it from the harness. When this is on the dog, you're gonna hook through the 2 outside rings.
Okay.
All I'm gonna do is go around her neck, right up behind the ears, and we're gonna just kind of hold that until it's just fairly snug. And then I'm gonna mark where that is.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna hold my fingers there. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 links that need to come out.
Okay.
So we'll take out 4 links, but if you guys look at this collar, the center section has 2 rings so that these links move in opposite directions.
Okay.
So what we're gonna wanna do is take 2 off at each end.
Okay.
So I'll take these 2 off. We'll hook it back up to the starting point. Then I'm gonna unhook this end. Take off 2 links. Hook it back up. Now all we have to do is unhook one of the rings. We'll just slip it over her head. Kind of snug it up behind the ears. And then bring this other link around and hook it into your leash. And then it's hooking to both rings. All right, Brandon, we're gonna fit this to Jake today, okay? We're gonna put you in our large size, which comes with 12 links on the collar. And the easiest way to fit these collars is to take your leash with a clip. You're gonna hook it to the 2 outside rings on the collar, okay? Then we're just gonna unhook 1 link, and all you have to do to unhook the link is just slide this around and pop it apart, okay? And once we get it sized, you won't have to do this every time. It'll be easy, so I'm gonna help you today. So with Jake, we're gonna go all the way around the neck. And this one's easy because we know there's 6 on each side. It comes right to the center of the collar. So I need to take 6 links off of this. But being that we have a center piece here, we're gonna take 3 off of each side. So 1, 2, 3. We'll pop those off. And you can save those in case Jake gets a little bigger and we need to put another one in some too. 1, 2, 3. Pop these off. And then we're just gonna put it back together. The same way we took it apart. Okay? Now to put it on Jake, take 1 link off, or 1 hook off your ring. Collar gets way bigger. We're just gonna slide it over his head. We're gonna go right up behind the ears and bring the 2 rings together and just hook them to our leash. And we're set. So we're gonna just start the basics of leash walking.
Okay.
Okay, and first thing we gotta decide is what side we wanna walk on. Put this handle in this hand.
Okay.
And then this can just kind of slide back and forth through that hand,
Okay.
right? So now you can tighten that hand and you can use that to stop the dog, or you can loosen that hand and give her some slack in the leash.
Okay.
So our goal here is to have our dogs walking without pulling on the leash, going the same speed we're going, changing directions when we change directions,
Yep.
okay? But there's really only one way for them to do that. Everybody talks about walking on a loose leash. Come on in here. We have a volunteer tonight that's gonna kind of show us why it's so important and how dogs actually learn, okay? So you get to be our pretend dog. But come over here and look at me and close your eyes, no cheating. Okay, with your other hand, point where I'm at. Point to me. Don't move your feet. Stay still. Pretty easy, isn't it? You're getting it right. You can open your eyes. Because I'm telling you where I'm at, right? Leash is tight. You know where I'm at all the time, right? Okay. Now, we're gonna make this leash loose. See, it looks kind of like a J. And you have to do exactly what I do. Ready? Okay, now's where it gets difficult. You have to do exactly what I do. the loose leash, but close your eyes. Yeah, close them. What are you doing way back there? Okay, so now here's the $1 million question. Here's what's so important. Come over here just a little bit further. Do exactly what I do. What part of your body are you using? Yes, your eyes, right? We have to use our eyes if we're a dog to walk exactly the same way we're walking, right? Because if they don't use their eyes, the only way we can tell them where they're at is to pull tight on the leash. And say, I'm over here, I'm over here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. How do we teach them to use their eyes? That's the important part, okay? Yep. So the way we're gonna teach them to use their eyes is we're going to use our leash, but not with constant leash pressure.
Okay.
We're gonna tighten it up at any time they're right not next to us. And then we're gonna change directions 180 degrees from the direction they're going at any time they're not right next to us, okay? So if you can imagine our little scenario we just did there, I'm not pulling her, I'm not making her do this. All I'm gonna do is tighten it, loosen it. Good, very good dog. The other thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start adding some treats when she's in the right spot. So when she uses her eyes, you're gonna see it. The other thing I'm gonna have you do from now on is always turn away from the dog.
Okay.
Just for the starting process here, okay? You're getting a lot of really good eye contact. Are you feeling that? Because they learn as much off the loose leash as the tight leash. Okay? The tight means, hey, you're still going, you're supposed to catch up with me. The loose says, you're in the right spot. See, you're even kind of steering her around that corner. I'd rather it be a tight than a loose leash. So get up here, and as soon as you pivot on your foot, just tighten up the leash, then loosen it right away. You ready with Jake? Okay, so we got the kinder collar on him. And what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna start working on some loose leash walking. The whole thing we want Jake to do is start using his eyes. So when we turn, he's paying attention, he looks at us and he turns. What we don't want to be doing is dragging Jake everywhere we go. So the only way that we can get his attention is when he goes a direction we're not going, tighten up the leash, make your turn to walk away, and then loosen the leash and wait for him to catch up, okay? Because what we don't want to do is just reel him in like a fish. Because he'll fight us the whole way and he thinks we made him do it. We want it to be his choice. Tight leash, loose leash, okay? So I'm gonna just walk around once so you can kind of watch. You see when I pull that tight, I let it loose right away again, and it's him making the choice to turn around. There, good boy, huh? Oh, look at you, good boy, huh? As soon as he gets into that, there, treat him, good. Good boy. Treat him, good. Treat him if you got one. All right, so you both got to get the kinder collar sized. We did some walking and understanding how to kind of change directions, work on the eye contact. Most important part is the eye contact. Once we start getting that, they'll know when we turn, they turn, we stop, they stop. As you guys get walking down the sidewalk, you know there's a crack every like 3 feet in the sidewalk? Okay? That's a great judge. So start using those cracks to say, if Jake gets there before me, that means I have to turn around and go the other way. And we're gonna start working on that the next time we meet. We're gonna actually work on sitting at a door, not bolting out, walking up to the door, opening it. If they go out, we start over. And we're gonna shut the door, we're gonna start over, we're gonna do this until they don't bolt out the door. What a good dog. What a good boy, huh? Oh, there you go. Now you say okay and heel and walk out the door. No, no, no. I think you got it this time. You ready? That's a good dog. That's a good dog. But this week I want you guys working on walking down the sidewalks, really focusing on them not leading you, lots of direction changes, and keep associating sit, saying sit when their butt's going down all week long. All right, so I'm back to check on Jake. Okay, we're outside, beautiful spring day. You guys are gonna go for a walk?
Yep.
Tell me how you think Jake's been doing lately. Better?
Yep, definitely a lot better.
Definitely a lot better. I remember the first day I came here and you guys skied down the driveway. Why don't you I'm gonna stay back here. Why don't you show us how that's working now? Go ahead and take him for a walk. Wow, that's amazing. Walking back up towards us once. Perfect. Now we're gonna do one more drill where you're just gonna kind of walk out here and you're gonna just start turning different directions. And I wanna see if Jake turns with you or if you have to use the leash. Let's see if he's walking using his eyes. That's really good. Loose leash, perfect turn. There's a great turn. Well, there's no doubt we've seen a bunch of progress in his healing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite a difference between using both hands and trying to hold him back, right? We just got to remember it's not always going to be perfect. So like right now, even just stop, turn around, come back towards me. There you go. Now head back to the house. Because the house is the reward here, right? When I get to go up to the house, it's so fun. I'm going to lead you there. No, you're not. Turn around, come back down. And every time you do that, you're going to keep reconfirming that, hey, we got to walk together to get to where we're going. Okay, so we've been working on this a couple weeks. You've been putting in a lot of effort. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you can say that's really helped you through this process?
Well, the kinder collar has really been a big help to train him.
Well, hi guys.
Hi.
Look at what a difference from the first time I came.
Yeah, she's doing great. Come on in.
Well, I guess we can start off by it's good to see her again.
Yeah.
Tonight's kind of the night where we kind of get to put everything together,
Yeah.
right? So we worked for a little while on our sits, treating, clicking, starting to say sit, right? We worked on our loose leash healing where we walked, and if she decided to go faster than us, we turned around and we went the other direction.
Yeah.
And she kind of has now gotten the concept of a redirection with the kinder collar. Now, it's gonna sound crazy, but I'm just saying drop the leash and walk away. And don't do anything, just keep walking. So, collar's fitted, it's right below the ears, doesn't slide all over. Maisy actually has some fairly long hair. And have you had any problems with the collar sticking in the hair, getting caught in the hair?
Oh, no, not at all.
It slides around
Right,
real
yep.
fine.
Yep.
That's been one of the questions we get asked a lot. Well, this
Yeah.
will never work with a long hair duck.
Right. No,
Um,
it's been fine.
And she had much longer hair the last time I
She
saw
did,
her.
yes.
And it wasn't a problem then.
No,
Okay.
it wasn't.
What we're talking about with this communication is that the collar just simply gets tight and loose. Tight, loose. She's understanding this communication from you, where before, let's say the flat collar, you know, really when you start pulling back on this flat collar, put a bunch of pressure here, she might have coughed a little
Yes,
bit, choked,
yeah.
flipped upside down, but
Yeah.
she wasn't understanding
Right. And
that
then
communication.
it would be done, and then she would just go back to her excitement and then the person again, so.
Okay. And now you feel more comfortable saying she understood that, she knows what's going to happen, she and you are on the same page. And for you, it's really simple because you just do the same thing every time.
Yes.
You pull that way, I go this way. You don't sit, I say no.
Yes. It
And-
just sends a much stronger message to get her to focus, I think.